tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That's how you can support the channel by liking and subscribing. Into some hot topics, trending topics. We're going to just do some general stuff. We're going to talk Donald Trump, the shutdown. We're going to talk briefly about the Kardashians. And it looks as if Lizzo is showing. I'll say it that way. So let me system allow me a few moments to do my disclaimer to protect the page because all topics are alleged and in our opinion. Okay. But we're going to definitely get to him stating that the government shutdown would be the president's fault. But let me get into my system. Let me do what I need to do to protect the page because all comments are alleged and we okay. So like the video as you guys come in, support the channel by liking and subscribing. Okay, let's see. Just give me a second. And there's a lot going on right now too. Sometimes I wish I could cover everything. I just can't. But there's a lot going on. I might just start doing a little bit of stuff. Um, I don't know. There's a lot going on though. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Yes, there we go. Let's see. Okay, and then I've been doing this and telling people, please hit the like button because the likes need to be liking. Okay, a lot of us YouTubers spend a lot of our time making these videos, updating people so you know what's going on, and it's important for you guys to hit the like button. There it is. Okay, but yeah, give me a few seconds. We're gonna go get straight into the video. And it seems as if some of these there's people standing in line that's never stood in line trying to get food. There's a lot of people that's suffering and not getting their paychecks. We're going to get into that too. But like the videos, you guys come in. Let's get to it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all.
Of the second Trump administration, and today we now have dozens of states taking the administration to court for refusing to fund food stamps for the next month. Funding for SNAP benefits is set to run out on Saturday, 3 days from now. Because of the shutdown, of course, the Trump administration could use emergency money to keep it going, but they have officially decided not to.
Now, let me play this though.
That the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans.
Resurface video of him saying that. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Now, 25 separate states are suing the federal government over that decision. Remember, 42 million people rely on SNAP to get food. That is about 1 in every 8 Americans. Today, on a call with his caucus, Speaker Mike Johnson made it clear
Let
that
me go back.
no plan. It is day 282 of the second Trump administration, and today we now have dozens of states taking the administration to court for refusing to fund food stamps for the next month. Funding for SNAP benefits is set to run out on Saturday, 3 days from now. Because of the shutdown, of course, the Trump administration could use emergency money to keep it going, but they have officially decided not to. Now, 25 separate states are suing the federal government over that decision. Remember, 42 million people rely on SNAP to get food. That is about 1 in every 8 Americans. Today, on a call with his caucus, Speaker Mike Johnson made it clear that he has no plans for a standalone bill that would fund SNAP. That is according to Politico. Johnson encouraged Republicans to stay unified as more Americans are feeling pain from the shutdown. The speaker is, though, starting to face some pushback in his own party. Politico also goes on to report that multiple members called out Johnson for keeping the House out of session. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Hit the like button as you guys come in. 0 likes. There's 90 people in here. The likes should match the views. Hit the like button as you come in. Like the video as you guys come in. Double tap that screen. If you're watching from a phone or a tablet, press 1. Hit the like button, the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Let's continue.
He continues to publicly call out the speaker for that decision and for doing nothing about the Obamacare subsidies that are also going away. Today, she posted that Johnson refused to give any policy proposals on the conference call today. And if you are counting at home, the House has not been in session since September 19th. That was more than a week before the shutdown even started. But Speaker Johnson wants you to know, House Republicans, they have been working on something. What is that something? It's investigating the Biden presidency. Today, they called on the Justice Department to look into Biden's use of the auto pen. Johnson said that pardons signed with the auto pen are, quote, invalid on their face. This afternoon, AG Bondi posted that a DOJ team has already begun a review. With that, let's get smarter with the help of our leadoff panel. Jeff Mason is here, White House correspondent for Reuters. Leanne Caldwell, Chief Washington correspondent for Puck. And Tim Miller, host of the Bulwark podcast and former communications director for Jeb Bush. Leanne, let's start with SNAP. We see nothing happening in the House, but both parties have their own standalone bills in the Senate. What are the chances for any funding before Saturday's deadline?
It's not likely, Steph. The reason is because, well, let's start with the Senate. Senate Majority Leader John Thune floated the idea of standalone bills to alleviate some of the pain of the shutdown late last week. But since then, he's now reversed his position. The White House is clear that they don't want any standalone bills, including to fund SNAP, including to fund federal workers. And Speaker Johnson doesn't want that either. He doesn't want to bring the House back just to vote on one bill that does not reopen the entire government. So what Republicans were talking about doing last week, it seems like those plans have fallen completely flat. They think that by not voting on this stuff, it will continue to put more pressure on Democrats to fold, to reopen the government. And so it looks like the stalemate's going to go on for at least a little bit longer, and with no relief in sight for federal workers, for troop pay, unless the administration does something of moving money around, and SNAP benefits, which Democrats insist is actually required by law for the administration to pay SNAP benefits, even if the government is shut down. But the administration is refusing to do so. Steph.
Jeff, anyone you cover at the White House, has anyone said to you publicly, privately, expressed any concern about people going hungry, Americans going hungry?
Let's get the likes up, you guys. Please hit the like button. There's 81 people in the building. Please double tap the screen. It's free to hit the like button. YouTube makes it extremely easy to hit the like button. Let's double tap the screen to get the likes up. The likes should match the views. As you come in, as you comment, please hit the like button. Double tap the screen to get the likes up, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. 50 people to double tap that screen so we can continue. He did a recent interview talking about it's the president's responsibility to get the people together. He probably didn't expect this to come out. Like the video. Let's continue. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Something that they're concerned about when they haven't said so, but it's not something I've heard, no. I think largely the White House is interested in and focused on the politics of this shutdown, and so far continues to believe that the Democrats are at the disadvantage. But I do think that the focus right now on people losing their funding for food stamps and people going hungry, it has the potential to shift that conversation. And I also think it's really important, and I'm glad you're focusing on it tonight, note that this affects real people. And the last several weeks have affected real people too, but when it starts affecting nutrition and assistance for low-income people around the country and the food that they can get or not get, that's a very, very real consequence of a very, very solvable problem in Washington.
And that's the thing, Tim. If you want to argue that Obamacare is flawed, that it costs too much money, it's not a great system, you could have that political argument and propose something else. If you want to say we have too many people in this country receiving SNAP benefits, we need to figure something out so people won't be in that position, that's also a conversation to have down the road. But here we are with people potentially going hungry and not being able to afford health care. Lawmakers know this. It's why the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene continues to call out Mike Johnson. Is he losing control? Is he losing power within his caucus? We know he got his job because of Donald Trump, so it's difficult for him to stand against him, but members of Congress have to be feeling the heat at home.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's losing power or not, or whether they're feeling the heat at home yet. Look, the members of Congress don't really seem to be doing anything. It's a great job if you can get it. For 5 weeks they haven't worked. They're getting paid. They're not having town halls. We're seeing lots of videos from these Republicans in their districts. I assume a lot of them are getting some Netflix time in. And so, whether that changes next week, maybe. I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking out is meaningful, right? And I think it was also meaningful we heard from Josh Hawley on this front too. There is a very small at this point but vocal element of the MAGA sort of MAGA caucus within the Republican conference. It's like, well, we say that we're the populist party for working class Americans. Shouldn't we be making sure that poor and working class Americans are getting their benefits or making sure they can put food on their table? There's a heck of a lot of Donald Trump voters that receive SNAP benefits. So on the one hand, I think it shows kind of the weakness of their position, but I don't think that necessarily means that Mike Johnson is weak because it's such a small number at this point of Republicans who felt like they need to speak out about this.
Well, J.D. Vance was taking some heat today when he met with Senate Republicans to tell NBC News that he took a lot of heat about Trump's proposal to import beef from Argentina and how that would hurt U.S. ranchers. Leanne, what are you hearing? I mean, it was written that at one point J.D. Vance said, does anybody have any questions that aren't about beef?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that J.D. Vance came to the Capitol to talk to House Republicans, and the government shutdown barely came up. So it's also really telling what the administration's focus is and what Senate Republicans' focus is too. But you're absolutely right. I was on the Hill today talking to Senate Republicans, and they absolutely said that beef was the number one issue that was brought up in that lunch. That Vice President Vance was told that the president should reconsider his decision to import beef from Argentina. This is really impacting a lot of red states, a lot of cattle producing states, which are red states: South Dakota, Montana, North Dakota, Nebraska, the list goes on. But yeah, it's interesting that this is the one thing that a mass of Republicans are breaking with the administration on. There's a long list of things that privately some have been disgruntled about or don't approve of, but this is the one that they are very public about. Their cattle ranchers are upset. They're hearing from their constituents. And I was told that the vice president was going to go back to the president and see what the plan forward is.
Those ranchers, those farmers, those are not low information voters. They deeply understand how trade works and how it impacts them. J.D. Vance also said today that the government will pay troops this week despite the shutdown. Jeff, where's that money coming from? And how's the White House picking and choosing what to fund? Because Mike Johnson said they don't have the ability to fund SNAP, have the ability to pay the military. And by the way, I'm glad they are.
Pardon me, I think that's the operative question, is how are they going to do it? And he didn't make that clear. The White House hasn't made that clear, other than to say, they have some options of moving money around. But the big question, I think, is the one that you're asking. How do they do that? And what else is around that they can potentially use? And what other priorities do they have? But your question about why the troops, I think the answer to that is, that it's a political priority for this White House to pay troops. The president, part of his campaign last year and the last couple times that he ran for president was about veterans, and he certainly likes to portray himself as a supporter of the troops.
It's so posh.
Like the video. There's about 94 people in the building. The likes should match the views. Like the video. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. If you're watching from a phone or tablet, press 1. If you're watching from a phone or a tablet, press 1. You should be able to double tap that screen to get the likes up. You should be able to double tap that screen to get the likes up. Thank you. Let's continue. Fair use.
Hard to make that argument, but so I think that's why. They've made that a priority. But the details of how that's going to happen and how it can continue, if this shutdown continues, which right now, there's no sign that it's going to end, is enough.
Now, if you're just not coming in, let's hear what he has to say about the shutdown.
I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep going.
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep going.
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear
Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
I would say, big question.
Tim, I'm thinking about things that Republicans care about. Many wanted the Epstein files released. We hear nothing about it. They're not happy. The government is shut down. Their healthcare costs are about to go up, and life is expensive. Yet the White House, excuse me, yet the House now has, I can't even get a word out. Despite the fact that they haven't been to work in weeks, they are now focused on investigating Joe Biden's auto pen. How does this come across to voters?
I mean,
Clearly, I'm tongue-tied. I can't even get my head around it.
Yeah, I guess they need to pretend like they have something to do. I know we're going to investigate the audit, but it's obviously crazy on its face. And it's worth noting that one of the reasons that the House is now back in session, besides the fact that they want, that they don't want to negotiate on SNAP or on Obamacare subsidies, is the fact that if Mike Johnson has to seat the Democrat from Arizona that won the special election, then there would be enough votes in the House to actually release the Epstein files. So the Epstein files cover-up is part of, why they don't have the House in session. And obviously this stupid auto pen investigation is just a distraction from that. One other thing, if you'll indulge me, I like when I get a chance to put on my former Republican free market hat about J.D. Vance's fight on the Hill. It is pretty crazy that these guys are so responsive to the ranchers' protectionist concerns about their beef, and that's the one thing that Republican senators are complaining about.
Good morning. Good morning.
I don't know. And there are a lot of Republican voters who eat beef who would like to have lower prices and who don't have a special interest. I guess hamburger eaters don't have a lobby in Washington, but there are a lot more of them than there are ranchers. And I would think that maybe this administration should just stop the stupid trade wars, and the Republicans in Congress who used to believe in free markets should take back control of the purse, and we can open the markets back up, and the farmers can sell their soybeans, and we can.
Good morning. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. And press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from.
Buy beef, and that's kind of how things work.
Free markets have left the building, right? There's no sign of free markets. I mean, every single day, a different company, a different CEO walks into the White House and negotiates with Howard Letnick to get some sort of exemption or deal to get themselves out from under the boot from tariffs. So we're nowhere near free markets, which is something that Republicans stood by for years and years, Reagan.
For sure. And again, this is their job. They have the power of the purse constitutionally, and they could take this job back. John Thune was a longtime free trader before he became the majority leader of the Senate. They could do this at any time if they wanted to actually pick a fight with the president and help farmers and help consumers. But they're choosing not to do it. And so, their crocodile tears in a private meeting with J.D. Vance isn't really that moving to me.
If you cry privately and you have a public job, it doesn't mean anything. Jeff, let's talk about the Trump administration today carrying out more deadly boat strikes in the Pacific. Meanwhile, the U.S. is building up its military presence near Venezuela. Your colleagues at Reuters report that military officials involved with the operation in Latin America are being forced to sign NDAs. What does this mean? How unusual is it?
To my colleague Phil Stewart, who does amazing work covering the Pentagon and is among the Pentagon press corps that has left the building in protest at the request to sign a rules or an agreement that was such an offense to freedom of the press. That aside, to your question, Steph, it is very unusual, as Phil writes in that story. It is also a sign. I would argue that the administration is concerned about details coming out about these moves, and it's also, and another reason that it's unusual is that members of the military, certainly military leaders, are already required to protect information like that and classified information from getting out to the public. So it's very Trumpian. I mean, the president, before he became a politician, certainly made use of NDAs, and the fact that that is now a part of his administration's work at the Pentagon and in a place where classified information is, already has guardrails is quite unusual.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Oh, let's continue.
It is day 281 of the second Trump administration.
Like the video as you guys come in. Let's continue. You have people that are not getting their paychecks standing in lines to get food. Like the video. It's not just people that don't normally work. People, that's the one thing people keep not telling the truth about. These are federal workers also standing in line.
Growing concerns about ballot privacy in Northern Virginia. What election officials say you can do to secure your vote.
Hold on one second. Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in.
Desjardins reports many federal workers are now turning to local food banks to help put food on the table.
In Northern Virginia today, a line of cars that stretched nearly a mile, made of federal workers stretched thin by the government shutdown.
The funds that I do have are pretty much depleted by this point.
It's the third day the Capital Area Food Bank has specifically served federal employees.
This one's dry goods?
This time at 2 different locations. Unpaid workers and contractors waiting in line said they've had to make cutbacks, like Valley Bennett, a single mother who works for the Department of Homeland Security.
I have a kid in college, a senior in high school. A senior in high school, you know, it's a lot of celebration, a lot of things that you want to do since it's your last year in high school, and we have to slow down all the activities.
More than 1 million federal employees today missed their first full paychecks since the shutdown began. That includes Zeleny Johnson, a mother of 3 who works for the U.S. Navy.
It feels terrible. It feels really bad. It's definitely not a good feeling to not get one today, but then to also know that you don't know when the next one is coming either.
That after Senate Republicans and Democrats yesterday each other's bills to pay some or all workers in the shutdown. Many federal employees were feeling or anticipating pain in their pocketbooks before today. Lines formed earlier this week at the Capital Area Food Bank's first distribution in Prince George's, Maryland, and its 300 boxes of goods ran out with people still waiting. And today, with cars lining up starting at 5:30 a.m., there was even more demand, and again, not enough supply.
We are run out of food before you get to the front of the line. So this is our pantry network. Additional places to access food will be back next week. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
It is a national story, with food banks ramping up around the country. In Phoenix, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul started making extra meals and collecting donations.
Do people understand? Some of these people were working and have not gotten their check. So why are you telling them in the comments to go get another job? They were working and they didn't get their check.
In the first week of the shutdown. And as TSA officers work without pay, airports are stepping up with donation drives, including at Las Vegas International.
Las Vegas sees millions of passengers come through our airport, and those federal entities provide vital services for safety and flight safety and airport terminal safety.
And in Salt Lake City, Utah.
These are our neighbors, whether you know them or not. These federal employees are Utahns, they are Salt Lakers.
The shutdown is compounding already worsening food and hunger issues. Before the shutdown, the Capital Area Food Bank's annual report for the D.C. area found a notable rise in the most severe food shortage, people considered very food insecure. It is government job related. As of May, 41% of households that lost a job connected to the government were food insecure. That's compared to 17% for households that did not experience a job loss. As the last box of food went into the cars today, significantly earlier than the food bank had planned, a lingering common thought from federal workers: don't forget them in all of this.
Just think about the American people that are out here working really hard just to survive. Just remember that.
The Capital Area Food Bank in Washington is planning its next distribution event tomorrow, and they only expect demand to grow as this shutdown continues. For more, I'm joined by the organization's CEO, Radha Muthaya. Radha, let me start right off the bat here with, we know demand has increased. How much has it increased by, and what do you see as far as the need in weeks ahead?
The demand has increased considerably over the course of this year, and what we've seen in particular is food insecurity.
Let's get the likes up, you guys. There's about 205 in the building. Please hit subscribe. Let's get the likes up. The likes should match the views. 205 people should be double tapping that screen, hitting the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Let's get the likes up. This is ridiculous. 8 likes and 205 people in the building. You guys are coming in and not liking the video. You have to like the video. Thank you. Like the video. Double tap that screen. Let's get the likes up so we can continue. 100 people to double tap that screen. Let's get the likes up. And YouTube makes it easy, where you could just double tap the screen and it hits the like for you. YouTube makes it easy. Let's continue. Fair use. Let's get the likes up. Thank you. This is ridiculous that these people are working and they're not getting paid. Some of the people, like for air traffic control, they did go get different jobs. That's why there's so many long lines at airports.
Is higher amongst former federal government workers, those who were laid off over the course of the spring and this summer. So we have already been doubling our distribution since pre-pandemic, and also adding another 5 to 7 million more meals that we're distributing into our community this year as a result of these federal policy shifts.
Do you have the resources to handle the demand you expect and the demand you're experiencing right now because of the shutdown?
The only way in which we're able to increase the amount of food that we distribute into the community is through the generosity of those around us and who are able to support us in the community. These are individuals, companies, foundations who've really risen to the occasion, having seen this incredible need across the community.
I hear that strategy, I hear that community that you're relying on, but how do you feel about the potential need ahead? This shutdown will go on for weeks more.
we are concerned about how long the shutdown is going to go on for. Our hope is that this shutdown will really come to an end pretty quickly. Our worry is that for each additional week that we have the shutdown, we're seeing just an incredible level of demand in the community. To give you an example, at the 5 distributions we had this week, what we had planned for, we had to double, and even then people left without getting food. So as we look ahead to next week, we're planning for about 400 families that we can provide food for at each of these different distributions.
Today, when I speak in with workers, one of them, I was in her car. She was told that you may run out of food before she got to the front of the line, and I saw her face immediately start to crumble. She almost started sobbing in front of me. She recovered quickly, but what is this telling you about where federal workers are now, and especially what this year has been like for them? How is this different maybe than other shutdowns?
There's just tremendous anxiety across our community at this stage. People are already destabilized as a result of so many of the federal policy shifts earlier this year. And now they're struggling because they're uncertain whether this is just a temporary loss of income and a cash flow issue, or whether they are going to be paid at all for this period of time. And so we've heard from so many, like the woman who you saw today, who are trying to negotiate their utility bills. They're trying to pay for basic things on credit card just to get by. So there's just tremendous anxiety across the community.
You've been through other shutdowns. Is this one different in any way?
Let's be very clear too. Many people have said people are 1 or 2 paychecks away from not having what they need. This is a definite way to show you have to have about $3,000 to $5,000 saved up to protect yourself. You have to have a cushion of $3,000 to $5,000 saved up. What do they mean? Sometimes you have to have at least 1 to 2 months of savings, if not 3 to 4 months of savings to protect yourself. There's always going to be a high and low of something happening, always. But these people didn't expect to be a federal worker and not getting paid.
This shutdown is really different for 2 reasons. One, it comes on top of the layoffs that have occurred in our community, and so that is significant as well. And number 2, people are really concerned about how long this is going to go on for, and really whether this is a loss of income and a cash flow issue, or whether they will be reimbursed for this period of time.
Rada Mathia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. How about in the negative every month? Sometimes it's like that for people if they don't have help and assistance.
Desjardins reports many federal workers are now turning to local food banks to help put food on the table.
In Northern Virginia today, a line of cars that stretched nearly a mile made of federal workers stretched thin by the government shutdown.
The funds that I do have are pretty much...
Things have gone up. Gas, food, things have gone up for sure. People are struggling. And then they're saying for Social Security, they finally got the numbers in. It's not even going to be enough for seniors to really make it. That's an issue when senior citizens are struggling to make it. In some of the cases, those seniors are by themselves. They're barely making it. Sometimes, like I said before, if I'm in line getting groceries and I see that a senior is struggling and they only have a few groceries and they're struggling with change or singles, I will buy them. I'll buy their groceries. If they're ahead of me or if they're behind me, I will buy their groceries. Real talk. Because you see that they're struggling. You see it. One time, a guy had so many bananas. I was like, oh my goodness. So I paid for his food. I paid for it. And I wish I would have had, and that's the one thing too. I try and keep a 10 or a 20 on me, and sometimes I'll give older people cash. I will, yes. If I see that they're struggling, and sometimes it may be that he wanted bananas. And oftentimes when I'm going to the grocery store, you'll see that seniors are struggling. It's sad. You're in line and you see that an older person is struggling, help a senior out. Help a senior person out. You know what I mean? Try to, if you can. Sometimes even just giving them $5 or $10 is helping them.
Completed by this point.
It's the 3rd day the Capital Area Food Bank has specifically served federal employees.
This one's dry goods?
This time at 2 different locations. Unpaid workers and contractors waiting in line said they've had to make cutbacks, like Allie Bennett, a single mother who works for the Department of Homeland Security.
I have kid in college.
Hello, anonymous. Hello. I can't tell the picture if you're a female or male. I don't even know. This person has been assisting and helping for so long. I don't know much about you, but I'm a pin that to hit the like button and share. But thank you. Male, I didn't know. I thought we never really conversated, but from your last post, I was like, wait a minute. because I can't really tell the picture so small. Welcome, thank you. I appreciate you always. Everyone say good morning to Anonymous. Anonymous.
A senior in high school. A senior in high school, it's a lot of celebration, a lot of things that you want to do since it's your last year in high school, and we have to slow down all the activities.
More than 1 million federal employees today missed their first full paychecks since the shutdown began. That includes Zeleny Johnson, a mother,
Marine veteran. And see, some of our veterans are struggling too. Yes, some of our veterans are struggling too. Welcome, welcome. Okay, you make shorts on that. Okay. See, there's another page that's anonymous. It's not anonymous, anonymous. There's another page that's anonymous. I didn't know if she had like a second page. So welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here, and thanks for always assisting and helping.
of 3, who works for the U.S. Navy.
It feels terrible. It feels really bad. It's definitely not a good feeling to not get one today, but then to also know that you don't know when the next one is coming either.
That after Senate Republicans and Democrats yesterday blocked each other's bills to pay some or all workers in the shutdown. Many federal employees were feeling or anticipating pain in their pocketbooks before today. Lines formed earlier this week at the Capital Area Food Bank's first distribution in Prince George's, Maryland, and its 300 boxes of goods ran out with people still waiting. And today, with cars lining up starting at 5:30 a.m., there was even more demand, and again, not enough supply.
We are likely going to run out of food before you get to the front of the line. So this is our pantry network. Additional places to access food will be back next week. I'm so sorry.
It is a national story, with food banks ramping up around the country.
And sometimes people have, okay, somebody's saying should have made better financial decisions. Sometimes it could be a car breakdown, it could be your furnace is going out. Sometimes things just happen. It just does. And if you don't have a spouse or a boyfriend or family to assist, sometimes there's highs and lows in life. It is the fact. People are struggling right now, and we're going to be more supportive than judgmental. These people are working, they're not getting their checks. What is wrong with people?
In Phoenix, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul started.
These federal workers were working, they're not getting their checks, y'all. Are people, maybe people don't understand that these federal workers were working, they're not getting their check, and he has basically said some of these people may not get paid at all. Now, this is what's being talked about. If and when the government reopens, they're talking about they should get their checks and they should get paid when everything reopens. That's what's being said. But he has said he don't know if those federal workers are going to be paid or not. Did y'all know that? I don't think people understand that. Page, we've been covering what's been going on with the shutdown. We're more so now focusing on the federal workers standing in line. They're working and they're not getting their checks. And then he has said, and maybe I'll have to look, I'm not doing it. If y'all been here, y'all know that he said some of those people may not never get paid. They may not get their pay back. Did y'all know that?
Making extra meals and collections in the first week of the shutdown. And as TSA officers work without pay, airports are stepping up with donation drives, including at Las Vegas International.
Las Vegas sees millions of passengers come through our airport, and those federal entities provide vital services for safety and flight safety and airport terminal safety.
And in Salt Lake City, Utah.
These are our neighbors, whether you know them or not. These federal employees are Utahns, they are Salt Lakers.
The shutdown is compounding already worsening food and hunger issues. Before the shutdown, the Capital Area Food Bank's annual report for the D.C. area found a notable rise in the most severe food shortage, people considered very food insecure. It is government job related. As of May, 41% of households that lost a job connected to the government were food insecure. That's compared to 17% for households that did not experience a job loss. As the last box of food went into the cars today, significantly earlier than the food bank had planned, a lingering common thought.
Like the video, y'all come in. Like the video.
Federal workers, don't forget them in all of this.
Just think about the American people that are out here working really hard just to survive. Just remember that.
The Capital Area Food Bank in Washington is planning its next distribution event tomorrow, and they only expect demand to grow as this shutdown continues. For more, I'm joined by the organization's CEO, Ron.
Because some people don't know. Let's let y'all hear. Like the videos, y'all come in. Like the videos, y'all come in.
That furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay.
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of
He
them
said
in a
there's some
different
people
way.
that don't deserve to be taken care of.
And jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
Why do you say some federal workers should not get their back pay? Why do you say some?
Well, you're going to have to figure that out. Okay? Ask the Democrats that question.
Did y'all know he said that? Let me go back. Wait, y'all heard it. Did y'all know he said that? Some people probably did not know.
Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. Okay? Thank you.
Why do you say some federal workers should not get their back pay? Why do you say some?
Well, you're going to have to figure that out. Okay? Ask the Democrats that question.
Mr. President, just to follow up there, I mean, the law says that when the government is reopened, that workers will receive their back pay. So are you going to defy the law there, or what?
I follow the law, and what the law says is correct, and I follow the law.
So did y'all know he said that? Even though those federal workers are working, he may pay some and not all.
Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most
Yes, and that's the question too. The people who don't need to be taken care of.
part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. Okay? Thank you.
Why do you say some federal workers do not get their back pay? Why do you say some?
Well, you're going to have to figure that out. Okay? Ask the Democrats that question.
Mr. President, just to follow up there, I mean, the law says that when the government is reopened, that workers will receive their back pay. So are you going to defy the law there, or what?
I follow the law, and what the law says is correct, and I follow the law.
So y'all probably didn't know that. So as people are in the comments saying, go get a job, they have a job. They're working for the federal government and they're not getting paid. And these federal workers are in line trying to get help and assistance until their check is released. And if they don't know who they are, that their check may be released, what? Some of these people don't know if they're still going to get a check when the government reopens. They don't know if they're a part of getting a check or not getting a check. These people are working.
Rada, let me start right off the bat here with, we know demand has increased. How much has it increased by? And what do you see as far as the need in weeks ahead?
The demand has increased considerably over the course of this year. And what we've seen in particular is food insecurity is higher amongst former federal government workers, those who were laid off over the course of the spring and this summer. So we have already been.
So that's when people say, is he okay?
He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to
Baby.
Doubling our distribution since pre-pandemic and also adding another 5 to 7 million more meals that we're distributing into our community this year as a result of these federal policy shifts.
Do you have the resources to handle the demand you expect and the demand you're experiencing right now because of the shutdown?
The only way in which...
Hold on. Okay, so some people are coming in and they don't realize what's going on.
week mark with no end in sight, President Trump today issued a new threat saying that furloughed federal workers may not be reimbursed with back pay once the government reopens.
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way, okay?
That reverses what's been long-standing policy and possibly goes against a 2019 law that ensures back pay for federal workers. Here with more on this is our White House correspondent, Liz Landers. Liz, it has been a very busy day for you.
Yes.
So what exactly is the administration threatening to do here and why?
So PBS NewsHour obtained this memo. It's a draft memo that was written by the General Counsel at the Office of Management and Budget. And in it, they believe the administration has the interpretation of that 2019 law that they actually don't have to pay these furloughed federal workers any kind of back pay. Now, that 2019 law was passed after the longest government shutdown in history to give protections to employees so that they would be assured to get back pay after that kind of shutdown.
And it was President Trump who signed it.
And it was President Trump who signed it. Excellent point. In this interpretation from this new OMB legal counsel, they're basically saying that that 2019 amendment gives a permanent authorization for the furloughed workers to get back pay when the federal government reopens, but it does not require it. There's also another sort of addendum in there that the administration is leaning into, saying that the Congress, that when they reopen the government, has to put the federal furloughed worker back pay into whatever funding bill they're doing. So they're trying to find some loopholes here. And this was written for Russ Vought, who's the director of the Office of Management and Budget. And he's been working with the president, we know, to slow the federal government, threatening these mass layoffs through other kind of mechanisms. So between this new memo and the mass layoff threats that we've been hearing, it seems like the administration is putting pressure on Democrats to end the shutdown.
Quick question here, though. Is this legal?
Well, according to a few people we talked to, probably not. The largest federal workers union that I spoke with, or that put out a statement earlier today, said that this is an obvious misinterpretation of the law, and also said that it is inconsistent with the Trump administration's own guidance from a few days ago, which said that furloughed employees should receive retroactive pay. I also talked to Shalonda Young, who was Biden's OMB director, and she said that the 2019 law makes it very clear that Congress has the intent to pay these federal workers who've been furloughed. She said that the federal government always pays federal employees once they've been furloughed. And she also made the point that this will surely spur Congress to add this into the funding bill that they're working towards, but have not yet passed.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Let's continue.
Jake Sherman and MSNBC reporter.
Where are we at on likes? Okay, there's 235 in the building. Please hit the subscribe button. There's 235 in the building. Please hit the subscribe button. Let's get the likes up. Everybody say good morning to Paris. That's Paris, my one and only mod for the last year. My one and only mod. Me and Paris be holding it down by ourselves. I have a very small circle, but when I pick somebody, baby, it fits in my spirit. She's my one and only mod, everybody. My one and only. Some pages got 15, 20. Oh, we got to have a mod meeting. I got one. Everybody say good morning to Paris. She's amazing. She's kind. She's considerate. And don't play in those comments because Paris will get you all the way together. Straight up. Paris will get you together. But very kind, though. But be kind in the comments. Okay, let's continue.
Laura Hafley, who is at a food bank open specifically for federal employees today, right here in New York City. Laura, I'm going to begin with you. Tell us about the real-life impact. What are you seeing?
You know, like so many food banks across the country, Food Bank for New York City here in Queens held a distribution for federal workers only. Now, they have these distributions all the time, but this one strictly for those federal workers. To give you an idea of how stark this situation has gotten, they were expecting a few hundred. They got more than 1,000 federal workers showing up for all kinds of groceries. They have non-perishable items like these green beans, bags of pasta, some fresh carrots, all kinds of things.
So also, say a prayer for people that are struggling. Also, there is storms in Jamaica. Say a prayer for people that are dealing with the storms in Jamaica.
So that people who are officially going without a paycheck have something to eat. And we spoke to a lot of those federal workers really all day. The overwhelming feeling is heartbreak. They feel absolutely deflated by the fact that they still have to show up for work, all while going unpaid. We even know one volunteer here at the food bank who volunteers here, and she's a federal worker, and she's not being paid. So it shows how dedicated these people are to their work, while, of course, getting no money while they do it. It's a really tough situation. Take a listen.
It's unsettling that I have to I feel like I work for the federal government. I should be taken care of, and I'm not right now.
Is it hard to know that you and your son are having to deal with this? I mean, it's not just you have a whole other life to
Yeah, you know, I explained it to him. I'm very transparent with my child. I tell him, mommy's not getting a paycheck right now, so we can't do all the things that you want to do. We can't go to the store and get all your little snacks that you want to get every day. Showing me, Amy's 5. You shouldn't have to understand that.
When you have to tell your 5-year-old son, mom's not getting a paycheck, how difficult is it to say that?
It's difficult and it's embarrassing because he's like, what do you mean?
I'm going to give you a closer look into
There's about 180 in the building. Please hit subscribe. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Check on your friends. Make sure they're good. If you have extra, check on your friends or stack and save for yourself. There's a lot going on, y'all. No, never mind. Like the video shot come in.
There's a lot of people to feed here today, but this food bank knows how to do it because they've been here before. During the partial shutdown in 2018, they fed 18,000 federal workers all of a sudden in need of food. 18,000. Let's put that into perspective. That's almost a sold-out Knicks game at Madison Square Garden or 6 Carnegie Halls. It's a lot of people, and this problem is only going to get worse with those SNAP benefits running out in just a few days.
All right, Laura, thank you very much. Jake, let's talk about the politics and get into what you're seeing on Capitol Hill. Josh Hawley wrote in the New York Times today that Congress has got to come together, but he's not one that's saying they need to come together by extending the healthcare subsidies.
If you're just not coming in and you didn't hear...
Because as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, there's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the President of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, there's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the President of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be...
So that's a resurfaced video of him talking. And of course, somebody else must have been in office.
He's also been a proponent of these same healthcare subsidies in the past. Where does the rhetoric stop and the actual reality of what's happening on Capitol Hill begin?
So there's a couple things at play here. Number one is the idea of Congress spending time on the Senate and House floor, passing what we call rifle shot or one-shot bills to keep open or refund parts of government. You could do that with SNAP. You could do it with the military, air traffic controllers. So far, the leadership, John Thune and Mike Johnson, have kind of said they're not interested in that. They want to keep up the pressure on Democrats to end the entire shutdown because they think if you keep funding some of these departments, it will make it easier for the shutdown to continue to drag on and drag on. I mean, Katie, we're 28 days into this, so it's dragged on for a good amount of time. I will say, though, we're now getting in, and not that we weren't in the real stuff before, but we're now really in the real stuff. I mean, SNAP going dry, air traffic controllers calling out or not coming to work and not getting paid. These are things that will not just impact federal workers, which are, of course, a huge chunk of the population, a significant chunk of the population, but will impact tens of millions of people. If you go to an airport and your flight's delayed 4 hours or you're trying to get somewhere for Thanksgiving is around the corner, Katie. If they are going to fix this, they need to fix it soon. So Mike Johnson and John Thune have been against this one-time funding mechanisms, also because Democrats have blocked it. Democrats have said they will not vote for it. They didn't vote for it. Most of them didn't vote for it last time when they tried to pay essential workers. One more quick thing. The healthcare discussion, the discussion about whether to extend these Obamacare subsidies is a discussion that is clearly not going to happen when the government is closed. I mean, you could say that something is going to change in the next week or the next 2 weeks, and that's fine. That's a fine theory to have. I just don't see any evidence that Democrats are going to drop their demands or Republicans are going to negotiate. In fact, for Republicans, this seems to be getting more sustained. You've seen unions come out this week, traditional allies of the Democratic Party come out and say, end the shutdown, pass a clean CR. So, I don't know where we go from here, but it's going to get messy real quick.
Yeah, the head of the federal workers came out and said that very thing today. All right, let me ask you about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You have some reporting, MSNBC, I think, has matched it, about some disruptions on a morning GOP conference call.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been kind of an outlier in the House Republican Conference. She wants to extend these Obamacare subsidies, or at least do a healthcare overhaul, not at least do a massive healthcare overhaul to, in her view, wean the country off of Obamacare. She said the Congress should be back in session, and furthermore, what she said is that the Senate, rather, should blow up the filibuster, should open the government with 60 votes, something that John Thune is not going to do. Mike Johnson asked her on this private conference call, to not complain about Republicans, quote unquote, online. She said it's not helpful, or Johnson said it's not helpful for the Republican Party. I don't know what to make of Marjorie Taylor Greene. It seems at this point that 90-something% of the comments on these private conference calls that we have reporting on, 90% of those comments are positive toward Mike Johnson's strategy, which has been, Katie, let's be clear, the House has been out for 39 consecutive days. This is unheard of. It's unprecedented. We've said from the...
Yeah, they should have better prepared. Now, they have money, I'm hearing, because y'all know me, at night I listen to other pages or I listen to what's going on. There's funding that could be possibly released to help in regards to the food stamps, but they don't feel it's an emergency. They're only going to release that money if there's an emergency, they feel. Why do they not feel that this is an emergency? So there's a lot going on in government, and there's a lot of distractions too. You got to remember, last month, the beginning of last month or the month before, we were talking about the files being released. Hello? We were talking about files being released. And they're still talking about that. So there's a lot that's going on, and I wish I could cover it all, but there's a lot going on.
We think this is a bad strategic move, bad for the country, and also, more importantly, bad for ending the shutdown.
There's about 163 in the building. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And everybody had talked about, oh, you know, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and people are feeling the pinch in regards to this government shutdown. People would have never thought last year we will be dealing with a shutdown, talking about the files being released, not released, and talking about people that got into office talking about they were going to release the files but haven't. Okay? So there's a lot going on.
The more people are here, the more pressure will build on the leadership.
Yeah, and Lisa Murkowski said as much as well today. But I want to focus.
And I'm sure federal workers probably would have never thought that they'd be working and not, some of them not getting their checks. This time last year, people would have never thought this would be happening, and it's happening.
On healthcare, you're talking.
Struggle is real. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
About how it just seems like it's never going to get negotiated. The Democrats will argue that it will never get negotiated outside of the shutdown or the funding bill either. That if it does actually make it to the floor, and I think they don't believe that it will, that Republicans won't vote yes for it. And if they don't vote, or if they do vote yes for it.
And remember, we talk about distractions. Often the distractions are so concerning. And I'll do a separate video about that. So concerning. And here he is in a resurface video.
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right? If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the President of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the President of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. My opinion, I hear the Democrats.
It'll get vetoed by President Trump. They see this as their only option for leverage. Do they believe that these subsidies are necessary and popular enough to sustain them for as long as it takes to force Republicans to come to the table?
They do, and they have a point, right? Healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket if these subsidies are not extended. But let me just remind everyone, Katie, Mike Johnson, Steve Scalise have been taking an increasingly hard line on these subsidies, saying they subsidize insurance companies, they're broken, we shouldn't extend them. They are not mincing words on this. They are not leaving open the possibility that even when the government is open, they are going to pass they're going to renew these subsidies. What they say they should do, what they say Congress should do, is overhaul healthcare. Now, we know that that's probably not going to happen. This has been a particularly difficult spot for Republicans in Congress for the last 15 years. They've struggled on healthcare. They struggled back in 2010. They struggled during Trump's first term, rather, and they're going to struggle again. Why? Because it's a complicated topic, and Congress has changed a lot since Democrats passed Obamacare back in 2010. So I would put today the chances of these subsidies getting just straight up extended for any period of time, maybe 10% or something like that. And I'll just add, Katie, I think politically it's very clear, it's abundantly clear, if these subsidies expire.
Please like the video. And y'all also realize a lot of times if I'm not too busy, I will read Paris's comments. We do have memberships over there. We do have memberships over there. If you want to be highlighted, hit the membership button and I can read more of your comments and I can also interact with you. Oh yeah, that's what people are talking about regarding that and where they're sending their money. So which is concerning. He's he's demolishing a part of the White House and then people are not even getting paid. And he's stating that that money is coming from him and donors.
And people's premiums go up, Republicans are going to get the blame. Like, I don't see any way around that. They control they control the White House, the House, and the Senate. I don't think there is any way that people are going to walk away from that, say my premiums are up, and it's the party that's out of power that's responsible. I just don't think that's possible.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, and Democrats are also going to have to find a way, if they cannot hold on any longer, to vote on a clean CR and also convince Americans that they didn't fold. It's all very messy all around. I will note this. J.D. Vance, the vice president, is on Capitol Hill. He just told reporters that the administration believes it has found a way to pay the troops this week.
Katie, can I just add something to that here? This is why the shutdown continues to be sustainable, because the administration,
and I'm glad they are paying the troops though,
is finding ways to
but everybody should be getting paid. This should not be happening to American people, period.
Keep parts of the government open. Military, WIC, the Women, Infant, and Child Healthcare program, nutrition program rather. So it gets easier to sustain if these things are.
Let's get the likes up, you guys. There's about 104 in the building. Please hit the subscribe button. Let's get the likes up too. Over 100. There's 100 in the building. Double tap that screen to get the likes up. There's been about 3,000 people in this live, and we got 35 likes. So people just want to watch and not support you. Let's get the likes up. Double tap the screen. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone or a tablet, press 1. All you have to do is double tap that screen. Or hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Let's get the likes up so we can continue. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. 153 people. The likes should match the views. Double tap the screen, please, to get the likes up. Thank you. Let's go. Wait, say something interesting. How about you go say something interesting on your page? That's the one thing I don't deal with disrespect. Ooh, I was about to say something else. See, people that's like that, they disrespect their family members too.
Yeah, on Snap, he says there are limitations on all these funds. There are limitations on how you can use the money. All right, we'll see what happens. Jake Sherman, thank you as always. You don't tell, there's no one out there that tells a better story or a better reporting about what's happening on Capitol Hill and lays it out.
Okay, so now we're about to get to, yeah, when men disrespect women like that, they disrespect their wives, their husband, their family members. They disrespect a lot of people. We don't do that over here. We're respectful. Okay, so y'all remember this situation? Aisha Curry went on a whole podcast talking about she didn't want to get married. Many people have been talking about this. Why would you shade your marriage and your children? Remember, people probably don't know this. She said she didn't want to get married and she didn't want to have kids. You think her kids don't realize she said that? People are like, why are you shading your husband in your marriage? Does she not know who she with? Steph Curry is one of the most sought out, well-rounded, well-respected basketball players in the NBA, and his wife continues to go on podcasts embarrassing him. She went on the Red Table, embarrassment, talking about men don't flirt with her. Girl, you married. Men don't need to flirt with you. They respect Steph. Then she went on here acting like she was going to remove her ring for this dude. Okay? So that's a whole situation. So they're saying Steph's going to have an amazing season. Whether his wife is tripping out or not, he was going to have an amazing season. Why? Because he's a well-rounded, well-liked, well-respected basketball player. He is not problematic, but guess what? His wife is. Yeah, if you don't like what I'm saying, go on your own page. Is somebody else being disrespectful? And see, that's why, if I don't see it, Paris can time them out. Sometimes I don't see everything because I be doing my own thing. Sometimes people like attention and they'll try and distract your page from what you're talking about. But yeah, many people were dragging her because of what she was talking about. So remember this. She was on that podcast and she was trending. Kim went on that podcast and started shading Kanye. So is that podcast all about shading your ex boyfriends? Think about it. Is that podcast all about shading your partner and your boyfriends or your husbands and spouses? Aisha Curry, with all due respect, sit down and have several seats and stop doing. I bet money she ain't gonna do no more interviews shading him again. She's done three. Red Table, she shaded him on The Real, and she shaded him on this podcast. People are telling her to have several seats. And guess what? A lot of the basketball wives are probably like, girl, you have an amazing life. Why are you complaining? And not that the women can't complain. We get it. She should have, and she did say she in counseling. Continue to go. I don't normally shade people, but if she continues to shade him for no reason, she needs to have several seats. I'm very kind, very considerate, but she needs to have several seats. It ain't just because he's a famous player and he's well respected and well rounded. If your wife can't even support you, if your wife can't even have your back, you sitting back saying you wish you never got you didn't want to get married and you didn't want to have kids. Now she's shading her kids. She went from shading him, now she's shading having kids. How do you think her kids feel? Some of these celebrity people and people love attention so bad. Poor Steph. Will he stay married or will he get a divorce? Well wishes to him. And like I told y'all, I have a friend that was with a dude that looks so much like Steph. She wishes she could have. I haven't talked to her. I already know how she feels. She wishes she could have had Steph than the dude she was dating. Literally been twins. The things and the drama she went through. Maybe if she had maybe if she showed Aisha Curry the messages and the situation she went through, maybe Aisha Curry will have several seats and be like, oh my goodness. Because she could have got that versus that. So prayers go out to Steph. Hopefully his wife won't do no more embarrassing interviews and won't be embarrassing him, acting like she want to take her ring off for a guy that's serving drinks and probably don't have the money that Steph has. Okay, so right now we're just doing hot topics, trending topics. You're just not coming in. He said this.
Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep.
Well, it's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
So it should be a negative mark on him. I'm gonna silence it because I don't. Okay.
He ain't gonna answer. I'm gonna leave a voicemail though. I'm calling Brian. Brian, little bro, call me back. We got some real shit to talk about. Cold red, my nigga. Cold red. They done caught me slipping. I need to know turkey or no turkey, and I ain't talking about no cheese sandwich.
Okay, y'all can go figure that out. So many of these basketball players are being called out, but the other story that I'm hearing is he dating? I don't know if I should say this. I need to look up who he's dating because it's being alleged that he's dating someone extremely famous. So I need to follow. And you know me, I have to hear about three stories to confirm stuff. And I've only seen it one spot. But it's being reported that he's dating someone extremely famous. I can't confirm or deny. And go to Netflix. Great show. It's the Starting Five. Have you ever watched that on Netflix, Starting Five? It talks about different basketball players, their lives. It talks about the ups and downs of basketball. It talks about what they go through with their families. And it was sad. Check this out. In the Starting Five, I'll be general because it's a kind of a sad thing. One of his family members' house got broken into. On the show, he showed where they broke into the home. And unfortunately, that family member had to move. And he had said, this is interesting, he had said, they told me to focus just on basketball. And he said, I can't just focus on basketball. I got to focus on everything. People are going around breaking into people's homes. And this is the biggest thing. I was wondering in the show, why didn't the family member have an alarm system? They got and people, if you got money, make sure you're good. Alarm system, proper coverage on your car. That was the biggest thing. How did they not have an alarm system where when they broke that window, it should have alarmed the family member. But I'm happy the family member is okay. But go watch the starting five. Really great show. Oh, I'm just happy and they did move. He had said I could not be comfortable with my family member being there. But this guy also, Jalen Brown, he was uh around Kanye West about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I think Kanye was trying to start a he was he was trying to start some kind of where famous industry people would sign up through him. So it's almost like Kanye was trying to have like a a business where he would sign different sports people. Now, I don't know what the agreement was between him and Kanye, but I'm sure he was kind of like, man. And that's when Kanye was having his ups and downs. Kanye had had the school. Kanye was training really well before his divorce. Once he went through the divorce, it's been sad. But even before the divorce, Kanye had said, and I watched that this morning. Kanye had said that he had had handlers. Boy, if I could talk about what I was watching this morning. Sometimes I don't cover everything. I do watch a lot of stuff though. So well wishes to Kanye. Okay, so if y'all did not know, recently Tyler Perry gave money to a church that the pastor Marvin Winans had embarrassed a woman that was standing in line, and Tyler Perry decided to give him 100K. Now, Jamal Bryant is doing it the right way. Jamal Bryant is actually assisting people that are struggling financially. I gotta find that. I gotta find it. So I'm wondering if Tyler Perry's gonna help Jamal Bryant. Yeah, they were talking about handlers. Candace Owen talked about handlers last night, and Kanye has talked about handlers. Yes, yes. These celebrities allegedly have handlers. They will put people in your life, and they will try and control you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Candace Owens talked about handlers last night. That whole Charlie Kirk situation, baby, I wish I could cover it. There's a lot going on in regards to that Charlie Kirk situation. There's a lot going on in regards to that Charlie Kirk situation. A lot. And the one thing I will say, everybody needs to watch the video from the right and the left. Everybody needs to watch that video from the right and the left. Some people are not paying attention. I already showed the video a while ago, but I stopped that. And um also Candace is speaking um about Charlie Kirk and messages. But let's get to this video. Hold on one second. Hold on. So I'm wondering if Tyler Perry's going to assist um that pastor as well. And we've talked about churches. I know Paris is like, remember Paris when I wanted to talk about the churches? I was like, I ain't gonna say much, but yeah. Uh-huh. Hold on. We're gonna get to it. Hold on. So Tyler Perry donated 100K to this pastor. He embarrassed the woman, so he's he's awarding bad behavior. And let's talk about
On social media. On Sunday, Pastor Marvin Winans hosted a day of giving. Members of Perfecting Church were asked to donate $1,000 and raise another $1,000 to help finish the new sanctuary in Detroit and support their community programs. And asked those giving $2,000 or more to come in front of the church first, with others following, from the largest donors to those donating as little as $1.62. But one member, Roberta McCoy, went viral after someone posted video of her coming to the front with less than $2,000, claiming she was rebuked by Pastor Winans. I spoke exclusively with both Pastor Winans and Roberta McCoy, who says she's been attacked online since that video began spreading. You're the woman in that viral video.
Right.
He did not rebuke you.
He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction because let me clearly state.
Clear up a major misunderstanding that's gone viral on social media.
On Sunday, Pastor Marvin Winans hosted a day of giving.
Yeah, something's not right with the whole story.
Pastor Gavin.
And allegedly the judge is trying to silence all the people that went to that college. Yes.
That Pastor gave instruction on the lines to get into.
I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that, so I was calling them by increments. And we had someone that had given out of before, and I corrected it, and I told everybody to listen and come when you call, and that's all that was.
Roberta told me Pastor Winans personally apologized to her. She's been a member of Perfecting Church since 2013 and has given faithfully over the years and will continue to do so.
That Pastor gave
and didn't I tell you about those lines? They got me one time. Never again. I was in one of those lines. Never again.
Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfecting Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
That ain't what I asked you to do.
I, Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the...
So she was standing in the wrong line. He shaded her, and Tyler Perry decided to bless him for shading her. Where they do that at? Hold on one second. I did a video because Jamal Bryant is trying to do it the right way. Jamal Bryant is actually helping and assisting the community. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Let me just give you guys an update of what's happening. Jamal Bryant is definitely helping and assisting the community, and he is giving back. He's doing it the right way. He's telling people, do not give me your tithe and offering. Do not give me your tithe. Okay, now I found it. Do not give me your tithes and offering. He wants people to save he wants people to give to the food bank and assist in giving to the food bank. So Jamal Bryant's trying to do it the right way. I found the video. Give me a second. Like the video as you guys come in. And you know, if you're a church that's giving back, then I don't have no problem with you. But if you're a church that's just taking and not giving back to the community, that's where I have an issue. Like the video as you guys come in. Hold on one second. There it is.
It broke out Monday. We have received, one person called and he said, tell my name. He said, because I know God is in this. Tyler Perry said $100,000. Bishop Patrick Wilton, he said, I'm sowing and I have +1. So he and his sister-in-law sent $2,000. We have received, I'll get all that over. But why don't you give God praise, folks? What the devil meant for evil, God turn it around. Since it broke out Monday, we have...
I, Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfecting Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
I, Roberta McQuaid, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfecting Church of sowing this seed of 1,000.
Since it broke out Monday, we have received one person called and he said, tell my name. He said, because I know God is in this. Tyler Perry said $100,000. Bishop Patrick Wooten, he said, I'm sowing and I have +1. So he and his son-in-law sent $2,000. We have received, I'll get all that over. But why don't you give God praise, folks? What the devil meant for evil, God.
All right. I have this other one on my live.
During his sermon on Sunday, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church Pastor Jamal Bryant told his members, don't give money to the church, but to instead help those who lose their SNAP benefits. SNAP recipients won't receive benefits as of November 1st if the shutdown continues. Sunday was supposed to be a day for the Stonecrest Church to raise $1 million, but Pastor Bryant says he is putting that campaign on hold until the government shutdown is over. Instead, he is encouraging members of his congregation to instead do things like bringing in canned Metro Atlanta pastor who just asked his congregation.
So wait a minute.
Who just asked his congregation to put the needs of others ahead of the church right now. During his sermon on Sunday, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church Pastor Jamal Bryant told his members, don't give money to the church, but to instead help those who just asked his congregation to put the needs of others.
So if you guys did not know, Jamal Bryant is definitely trying to assist people
ahead of the church right now. During his sermon on Sunday, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church Pastor Jamal Bryant told his members, don't give money to the church, but to instead help those who lose their SNAP benefits. SNAP recipients won't receive benefits as of November 1st if the shutdown continues. Sunday was supposed to be a day for the Stonecrest Church to raise $1 million, but Pastor Bryant says he is putting that campaign on hold until the government shutdown is over. Instead, he is encouraging members of his congregation to instead do things like bringing in canned Metro Atlanta pastor who just asked his congregation food.
Congregation is supposed to be sensitive to the needs of the community, knowing that people are literally just trying to keep their head above water. So we're opening up our arms and opening up our hearts at the same time.
Every other Sunday, you may be familiar with this, Pastor Bryant says the church gives away groceries to about 1,500 people. This weekend, he is expecting an even greater demand.
Did y'all hear that?
Just trying to keep their head above water. So we're opening up our arms and opening up our hearts at the same time.
Every other Sunday, you may be familiar with this, Pastor Bryant says the church gives away groceries to about 1,500 people.
So this is what he's doing every other Sunday, and he has been. So you got one pastor seeking money, and you got one pastor that's giving back to the community. There is a difference.
This weekend, he is expecting an even greater demand and planning to serve around 2,000 people.
Congregation is supposed to be sensitive to the needs of the community, knowing that people are literally just trying to keep their head above water. So we're opening up our arms and opening up our hearts at the same time.
Every other Sunday, you may be familiar with this, Pastor Bryant says the church gives away groceries to about 1,500 people. This weekend, he is expecting an even greater demand and planning to serve around.
So I've talked about that.
So he and his son-in-law sent $2,000. Since it broke out Monday, we have received one person called and he said, tell my name. He said, because I know God is in this. Tyler Perry said $100,000. Bishop Patrick Wooten, he said, I'm sowing and I have +1. So he and his son-in-law sent $2,000. We have received, I'll get all that over. But why don't you give God praise, folks? What the devil meant for evil, God turn it around.
So he embarrasses this woman, and Tyler Perry sends $100K. He embarrasses her.
Roberta McQuaid, giving faith and stand in unity with the Vision of Perfected Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
I, Roberta McQuaid, giving
Since
So will Tyler Perry bless Jamal Bryant? That's actually helping the community. I could say more because Paris is here. I'm not. Let's continue with Hot Topics trending topics. Yeah, 200K jacket. But it's his money. But let's continue. Let's continue with Hot Topics trending topics.
Very interesting thing. I have the best numbers for any president in many years, any president. And I would say that if you read it, it's pretty clear. I'm not allowed to run. It's too bad. But we have a lot of great people.
Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. I'm not even going to get into this, but I'm going to be general. Many people are talking about this tax record. I can't confirm or deny if the tax record is legit. It was hacked. I can't confirm or deny. This right here is a huge story too, and I'm not even going to get into it. Just go look it up in regards to Barit. Go look it up. Candace Owens covered this too, and there's a lot going on regarding it. There's a lot going on, y'all. Stuff, but a lot of stuff I ain't even gonna cover it because okay. So it's being reported that Hallie and DDG has dropped the restraining order, which is a good thing, and they're choosing peace for the baby Halo. There comes a time in relationships where dude may be tripping out, girl might be tripping out. There might be highs and lows in regards to they're no longer together. You're disrespecting me. When you first get together, you're in that honeymoon stage, and then things are happening. I don't know what was transpiring. DDG and Hallie were together, and many people were like, Hallie, be careful. We don't like it. Many people are like, Hallie, we don't like it. We don't like it. You are Hollywood's little princess. So back in the day, they were dating, seemed happy, and then all of a sudden they started having turns issues. He had the baby in a bag going on to Kai Cenat show, and they were going back and forth, and then she showed some bruises. So of course she had a restraining order on this dude. Be careful who you date, be careful who you have children by. So last week I want to say, and all that I say, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know everything, but I know stuff, and that's why I talk about stuff I know. It's being reported that he had said, Hallie, let's work this out. All these court fees and paying these people and these people telling us what to do. I'm glad they were able to figure it out, work it out, and he's now able to see his child. Sometimes it takes a moment for a man to grow up. It takes some time for a man to grow up. You out in these streets, you feel like you could disrespect a woman or women can disrespect a man. None of it's okay. Respect your partner, respect your mate. If you don't feel that you can respect them, get away because you could actually go to jail. He could have went to jail over this situation of what she alleged. I can't confirm or deny he put hands on her, but he could have went to jail over what was being alleged. So it's great that Hallie and DDG are trying to work things out for the benefit of the child. That's all I'll say. Let's continue. Certain stuff I cover, y'all can read it, whatever. Okay, let's continue. Above ground. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so we've talked about this situation in regards to the Kardashians. Kim likes to dress north in unflattering ways. So right now she's mocking Kai Cenat. The Kardashians, it might be the weekend. Kim loves for North to trend because remember there was a huge trend of Krishan Rock and Blueface. So Kim is happy that North is trending. Kim loves it. The Kardashians love to trend. They love to go viral. So right now, people feel that Kim is utilizing North to trend and go viral. So she's right now, and it's the Halloween time. But that other outfit 2 weeks ago wasn't Halloween. That's what North wanted to do. So either she's dressing her in male costumes or situations, or she's dressing her in something that's too grown.
Me, Ray. Do you know who? I put that you gotta meet Ray. You know Ray? No, you gay. No, I said you gotta meet Ray. You gotta meet Ray. Do you know who Ray? My friend. Ray bless you. You the Brazil Ray. Yeah, it's you. You gotta meet Ray. You know Ray? I put this photo up. And I drop him. Cause I don't care. I put this photo up. Ray has an emotional connection with Dorothy. Don't tell him I said this. Behind the scenes, Ray came to me. He said, bro, whoever idea was it to put me and Ray in the same room, to put him and Dorothy in the same room, Ray have an emotional. I put this you gotta meet Ray. You know Ray? No.
North is a beautiful girl. Many people have been talking about Kim. Many people have been talking about Kanye. We wish the children well because they're in a whole situation being raised and having parents that are Kanye and Kim. I will say that. Yeah, I will say that. So, wishing them well. The Kardashians like to utilize North and keep her in the media, so people are talking about the Kardashians. Well wishes to North. She's a beautiful girl, but many people do not like how she is utilizing North to be relevant, trying to stay relevant, and people don't like that she is focusing on. And then Kim had said North is the moment. People want to see North. Yes, we want to, but the Kardashians are pushing an adult narrative for the girls, Kylie, Kim, Chloe. Then the Kardashians are pushing a narrative for the children. Well wishes to North. Beautiful girl. Let's continue. Make America hungry again. 500 million in food left to rot. I don't know if they're saying that there's food that's going to be rotting. I don't know. But this was interesting. I don't know if I could, well. And then turn around and let them make. Y'all could go watch it. So this is Taraji P. Henson playing Janet Jackson. Y'all can go watch it. I can't play this. Women, be careful who you date. Listen to how they talk about like-minded or unlike-minded men. Some of these men may be out there, and you got to really listen to your spouse or boyfriend and if they turn that way or go that way. Be careful, women out here. There's a lot of men that's dealing with stuff upstairs that they may not tell you. They may not tell you. And then there's women that know. There are men that's out there, they don't joke about certain stuff. They don't do that. I thank goodness I've always, and I'm good now too. I thank goodness the men I've always dated or back in the day, I was never worried about that. Nowadays, because they're pushing it in our face, you got to be careful who you date. And talk to your daughters, talk to your aunts. You got to be careful who you date. You got to really listen. If they joke about it, flag one. If they talk about things in a certain way, flag two. If they're doing certain stuff, flag three. You got to talk to your spouse, talk to your boyfriends, and find out. If they swing in that way, let them swing and keep going. If they swinging, be careful because there's a lot of women that don't know what's going on with their men. Be careful. I'm gonna be general. I wish I could play it. Oh, it's being reported that Amazon may be laying off many people. And see, people were actually saying, "Oh, find another job, get a job." People are also being laid off. Because guess what? Right now, a lot of people aren't buying a bunch of stuff. They don't need it. They're trying to now stack and save because there's so much going on in the world. So it's 30K. It's being reported. And if you remember, note it in the comments, let me know. Are you in a place or location where there is an Amazon building near you, by you? So this will be a lot of locations laying off several thousands of people. Okay, this area we can get rid of, you're going to do it. Remember how back in the day, remember how it was what, 2, 3 years ago, they were talking about Amazon not giving proper breaks, um, watching how, you know, I used to have people and know people that worked at Amazon, and they said it's very stressful. Um, when you went on a bathroom break, because guess what? We get why. People would try to go in bathrooms and do videos or watch videos, or they'd be on their phones. So Amazon was very strict on breaks, lunches, and just not doing your job. So they made it so strict that it was stressful for people that really wanted to work, but people that were trying to make TikTok videos in the dang on bathrooms, or just being on their phones, or making YouTube videos, try to work at Amazon. So many people I've talked to, they state working at Amazon was something that they'll never forget. Yeah. So if they're laying off that many workers, that's a lot of people. Okay, I don't know if y'all seen this. Okay, that's Lizzo posting that. Remember, she had just lost all that weight. So congratulations. I don't know who she's dating, but she's showing. Yep. Okay, so many people are saying, let the girls dress up. Look at here. These parents need to be very careful of trying to let their daughter grow up too fast. Because guess what? There's some weirdo off to the side looking at your daughters growing up too fast. And so you got to realize there's Hollywood and Holly weird. You understand what I'm saying? There's Hollywood and Holly weird. Beyonce and Jay-Z don't play about their kids. Yes, Beyonce had Blue Ivy on tour with her. She had her on tour with her. But there's a lot of celebrities that don't play about their kids. The Kardashians are pushing a narrative, and they basically will do stuff. And remember, Kim gets a lot of black backlash. She loves it. Kim loves, and remember I talked about this 2 years ago, benefits and embarrassment. We see how Kim will put North in an unflattering situation. We've talked about that. Where's that video? Kim will put North in an unflattering situation. Y'all remember when she was dressing her like Kanye to trend and go viral? And then she'll dress her in clothes that's too grown for her. Kim knows what she's doing. You have to know that. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing, and it's her child. But you got to be very careful. And then do y'all remember when Kim was on Kai Cenat? She loves to go places where she can trend. Remember how Kim was on Kai Cenat and that young man, who was probably in his 20s, asked, "How old is North?" As a grown man, why you want to know how old her daughter is? Kim looked at the man and said, 12? Like she was disgusted. These um these celebrities need to protect their children's image. She's putting her in the media. So we're talking about it, yes. And she receives backlash. And then she'll be like, "Oh, we're never doing that again. You already did it." So I already told y'all. I'll get more into that probably the weekend. Yeah, Kim likes to copy Kanye's exes too. I can't find the video now in regards to that short, in regards to how Kim puts North in unflattering stuff. I don't know where that video is. Uh, like the videos you guys come in. Like the videos you guys come in. Mm, All right, I'll continue. I'm not gonna find it. I did do that video though. Yeah, both all the girls are beautiful, but these celebrities are utilizing their children in media. The Kardashians being one, and then you got to remember how Chris pushed Kim. Now Kim is pushing North, and we get it. Kids love TikTok. They love doing stuff, and they love showing different things. But we see that the Kardashians are doing a lot. They're doing a lot. Beautiful girls though, but they need to let them. They trying to, baby, Paris. When I saw this, wait. I wasn't ready this morning. I wasn't ready. So a lot of times before I go live, I will scroll through to see what I want to talk about. And if I don't want to talk about that, I'll let it I'll let it uh I'll let it reset. But when I saw Phaedra, this was Phaedra's then and now. Bless her heart. I wasn't ready this morning. Let me screenshot that. Celebrities do a lot to change. Good morning, everyone. Let's continue. He's been trending a lot. He's dating what's her name? He is dating her name is right on the tip of my tongue. She was dating Tiana Taylor. Yeah, he's dating Tiana Taylor. There's more I could say, but I ain't gonna say it. Aaliyah. And the people that went to that funeral, that whole situation was concerning in regards to Aaliyah and what was happening around that time. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures because a lot of these celebrities, prayers go out to her family. Prayers go out to her family. I'm gonna show y'all pictures of different celebrities, where they were then and what they're going through now. Different celebrities. We no longer have no, never mind. This beautiful young lady has passed since then. Prayers go out to her. Usher, his career, what he's been trending and going viral about. This is a lot of the celebrities that went to the service. Trying to think of her name. Oh, I can't think of her name. Beautiful girl. Missy Elliott has lost a lot of weight since then. Maya, thank you. How things have changed for him. If you did not know, Diddy has been given a release date, which is supposed to be May of 2028. The things we found out about Diddy, what his girlfriends, and remember, he liked to have girlfriends. He didn't wife a lot of people. Did he ever marry? Did he ever marry any of them? And remember how he has the children and he wants the children by him, near him? Mm-hmm. Yep. If you did not know, he's been given a release date. So let's update people on Diddy right now because why not? Let's do some Diddy news. Let's go ahead and update you on some Diddy. Yep. Let's go Diddy. Because we really haven't talked about him a lot. But let's update you. Like the videos y'all come in. Like the videos you guys come in.
Inching closer towards freedom. An official release date has been set for the hip-hop mogul who continues to serve his prison sentence for 2 prostitution-related convictions. After being sentenced to 50 months behind bars at an October 3rd hearing, Combs will be released from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn on May 8th, 2028, according to Federal Bureau of Prisons records viewed by E! News, though he may be eligible for an early release based on good behavior. Combs' sentence includes the 12 months he spent in custody following his September 2024 arrest. Judge Arun Subramanian previously explained that the prosecution's proposed 135-month sentence went beyond what was necessary, but the defense's request for 14 months of incarceration would not be sufficient for NBC News. Subramanian saying at the time of the sentencing, a substantial sentence must be given to serve an example to abusers and victims alike. That decision did not sit well with Combs' attorney, Tenny Garagos, who emphasized that her client was found not guilty of the more serious charges in his case, telling ABC News just minutes after the sentencing, the jury made it very clear in their verdict that they acquitted him of the sex trafficking and the RICO counts. Not guilty means not guilty. Combs' attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, who is leading the team appealing Combs' sentence, described Subramanian's decision to ABC News as totally inconsistent with the jury verdict.
Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Let's continue. Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the show.
You told TMZ in an interview that you think Sean is going to make the comeback, the likes of which people are not expecting. How is that possible? I mean, there has been an extraordinary amount of dirty laundry, let's just put it that way, displayed in this trial. Things that Sean Combs himself felt that he needed to apologize for when he was given a chance to address the judge.
I've been around one or two or three people who have been counted out, who I've defended over the last, 40 some odd years. I will tell you, if you just think back 6 months, Elizabeth, I think anybody who would tell you 6 months ago, I remember my daughter Tenny going on and saying publicly that the media got it wrong before the trial ever took place. All of the kinds of wild rumors, all of the kind of conspiracy theories. And there was, I don't think there was anyone who thought he would be where he sits today, which is not guilty on the RICO, not guilty on sex trafficking, not guilty on another sex trafficking. Right. I've seen Sean overcome.
Just because the jury possibly didn't see it, we heard it. Like, it's not a concern that when his house got raided, serial numbers scraped off, substances being found in his home. Are you kidding me? When he got arrested and he went to jail, federal jail, what was found in his hotel?
I think obstacles, maybe not as large as this, but obstacles where people counted him out. Remember, this is somebody who grew up, whose father was murdered and didn't have 2 nickels to rub together and made himself into an iconic African-American billionaire. And I just think that he's got all of, if anybody's going to ever make a comeback, he's the guy to do it.
It's concerning to me why people support the foolery. Diddy did what to Cassie? Like that, and other women?
Now been set. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Combs is expected to be...
Yes, correct. Did you see that video that I was telling you to look up? See, there's certain stuff I'll be general with Paris about. Did you see that video where it talked about and stuff was blacked out? So the judge knows a lot about what's going on. And the judge tried to be alleged fair in certain situations, and he let a lot of stuff go. But this trial, distractions, and concerning how they handled it. And then trying to tell the jury, let's let them go before the holiday. That shouldn't have even been an issue. They should have made a decision the week before. And then the repetitiveness, the sidebars, the distractions, the victim not showing up to testify when she did an interview saying what she went through. Because I told y'all then, Kim Porter, RIP to Kim Porter. Kim Porter situation would have been very similar, alleged, to Cassie's. RIP to Kim Porter. So that young lady, Gina, didn't want to show up, but she showed up either through the sentencing. She showed up through the sentencing. She should have had to testify, period. People have ability to change their mind. Okay. But how they handled this, people felt that there was a lot of distractions, it was a lot of foolery. And then remember how they allegedly tried to contact people that's dealing with the civil lawsuits? But I guess the judge didn't want to add that. So his civil lawsuits need to have police reports, hospital reports, needs to have valid proof in regards to the civil lawsuits. But the judge knows a lot about Diddy and his dealings. Also, they're keeping a lot of his phones, tablets. They're keeping a lot of that. And a lot of these celebrities are probably happy. Well, no, they're not happy. Because guess what? The feds know a lot about these celebrities now that they probably they didn't want the feds to know. So some of these celebrities might be being investigated silently. When you think about it, these celebrities are not happy that those tapes are in the feds' hands. Conversations that Diddy had with some of these celebrities, the things that they did, the tapes that they allegedly have. Yeah, a lot going on. A lot going on. Yeah, they have a lot on these celebrities when you think about it. Hmm. When you think about it. And like I said, the judge knows a lot. And a lot of stuff in regards to the Diddy case was blacked out and redacted. Yeah. I that video, like I said, there's stuff I watch at night shocks me. Cover what I need to cover. You can go over to those law pages and people that read the transcripts and get all that. But there's a lot going on. A lot going on.
Sean Diddy Combs' release date from prison has now been set. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Combs is expected to be released on May 8th of 2028. A jury delivered a mixed verdict in the high-profile trial 14 months ago. Combs was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. However, the jury acquitted him of more serious charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering, which could have carried a life sentence. Combs was sentenced to just over 4 years. His release date reflects time already served, with about a year behind bars since his arrest in September of 2024.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting that we haven't really heard a lot about the civil lawsuits right now? He's been sentenced. So why are we hearing about the civil lawsuits right now? Isn't that interesting? We're not hearing a lot. Because remember how people said they can't move forward until he's sentenced. And a lot of people were silenced during the trial, during the sentencing. A lot of people were silenced because they didn't know if they were going to have to take the stand. I've heard a lot of videos regarding that. And then people that dealt with Diddy and Cassie, huh, the workers, some of those people were silenced. Some of the people they would not testify because they had a way of feeling about Cassie. There's that. So here nor there, Diddy will be sentenced as May release possible release date will be May of 2028. He asked Trump for a pardon, and many people feel that he might still get some kind of assistance from the man. We'll see. Hmm. Okay, so there's that. I don't know if there was any other picture I wanted to show, but yeah, that's the Trump Diddy update. Let's see. Oh, really? I didn't even know this that the police search for thieves who stole. Mm, hmm. Interesting. 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 Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Did LeBron James play against? Hmm. I'm not really going to get into that. If you guys did not know, recently Michael Jordan did an interview and they've been talking about him. And if you guys did not know, right now the NBA is being investigated for illegal gambling. So there's the poker part of it, and then there's the sports part of it. But there's a lot going on. also in regards to the feds checking into the illegal gambling and the poker situation. So, did they pull Michael closer to media? So, there's that. If you did not know, he did a recent interview. I want to say either was 2 weeks ago, and that's trending. But there's a lot going on in regards to basketball as well. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Toyota will be spending 100 billion. Okay. Man sells everything he owns and borrows money. And okay.
Pay very quickly or as soon as possible. It'll happen fast.
Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly or as soon as possible. It'll happen fast.
Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly
2019.
or as soon as possible. It'll happen fast.
Is it the White House's position that furloughed workers should be paid for their back pay?
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. I will make sure.
Baby. Okay. I remember that's where I wanted to end. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to happen, you guys. A lot of us had did a video about 2 weeks ago whether he was going to cut a check for the American people. He did an interview stating he's either going to give people $1,000 or $2,000. I haven't heard anything else about it. Have you guys heard anything about a stimulus check that's supposed to go out? I haven't heard anything else since he spoke about it. That would help people in regards to what they're financially going through. We haven't heard anything else about it. He did an interview saying that he's thinking about giving people $1,000 or $2,000 in regards to the tariff part of it. So if that happens, great. But if it doesn't happen, why mention it and get people hopes up? Right now, a lot of those federal workers would probably love a $2,000 check right now. A lot of people in general will probably love a $2,000 check right now, even $1,000. You know what I mean? I'm something else. Oh yes. Oh, I wanted to play this for y'all.
You think for a second you want? I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want? I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
Don't give me. You don't. Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house? So this is serious, guys. This is serious.
So it'll be Newsom Trump in 28.
No. This guy doesn't believe in free, fair elections. He tried to wreck this country. Were you there, January 6th?
Hello.
I think Fox was. At least they were in a lawsuit. They seem to have lost any memory of that. Shareholders didn't. I mean, he tried to light democracy on fire. He dialed for 11, almost 12,000 votes. Now he's doing it in plain sight. And people said, oh, just Trump being Trump. Do people actually think this guy's serious about having another election? You think he's joking about 2028?
You think when he brings foreign leaders to the Oval Office and he goes to the White House store, have you seen this? Anyone? Is it just me? And he shows them the 2028 hats? He's not being serious? Wake up. You will lose your country. Again, it's not about Democrats. It's about all of us.
You're absolutely convinced he's...
I'm absolutely convinced.
2028.
You've seen it. He's tried to steal last election. He's trying to rig it in plain sight this time. He wants to get rid of vote by mail. He's talking about...
Like the video.
He doesn't like. He's setting up the contours where he can declare a declaration of emergency for anything. Just cause means whatever he just said on Truth Social. He's running the greatest grift operation in world history. I mean, it makes some of these dictators overseas blush, the crypto. Not just the perfume. I mean, come on.
Let me ask you about a couple of your...
Wake up, everybody. Wake up.
Let me ask you about a couple...
Excuse me, and I know it's impolite. We have to be more calm and demure.
Couple of your own...
But I'm not calm, and I'm not going to submit myself to niceties. Not when this guy is trying to wreck our goddamn country. I don't think Donald Trump wants another election.
So there's that. Let's see what happens in regards to 2028, y'all. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on the swivel. Okay. This is what was showing in regards to Jamaica.
My side, and you see that? Yo! When you see that, my side, got me buckler.
So praying for Jamaica.
Jesus Christ! Hello! Come! Come over here, so girl, come! Girl, move from Jesus Christ!
So he's trying to tell her there's something above.
Come! Run, come! Jesus Christ! Come! All right, go! Jesus Christ!
And then more people start running through his gate. So prayers for Jamaica, because I don't know how bad the storm has gotten, but prayers for them in regards to the storm. Blueface, I can't confirm or deny. Many people are saying they're wondering if he's going to get out in the next several months. There was a time frame that I saw, but I don't know if that's factual or if that's just real or fake news. But remember the time when Blueface and Krishan was on the Jason Lee show talking about their relationship. They used to trend about the most ratchetest stuff. Mothers, talk to your daughters about relationships and being in healthy relationships. This young girl would trend about different things, and it's concerning of what our youth is shown. I don't just get on the Kardashians, I get on the ratchetness too. We've covered this a little bit, but what they were putting out, he ended up in jail. I think the last straw for that judge is when he had that event and he pushed that girl off that stage. Krishan been trending about the Tamar situation. Krishan's been trending about her family situation. These young people, there's about 83 people in the building. Let's get the likes up, everybody, and let's hit subscribe. Even if 83 people subscribe, that'll be an amazing day for me. Please hit the subscribe button. We've been live for almost 2 hours. I didn't even think it's been 2 hours. I wasn't paying attention. I've been live for almost 2 hours. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Can I get 50 people to hit that like button? Thank you. This whole relationship between them, so concerning. Putting the face tattoo on her face. Then the guy she was just recently dating said he broke up with her because of her attitude and because she wouldn't cover up the tats. And then she's been trending. Go look up why she's been trending lately. So concerning. Our youth have concerns. There's about 105 in the building. Please, 105, please hit subscribe. Go back and look at this. It's on Hollywood Unlocked. Blueface and Krishan are talking. But look up Krishan's most recent videos. she's been trending about a lot. And the guy she was just recently dating, he's been speaking out about her. So, a lot going on. This is what's being talked about. Allegedly, can you tell me how a person had 12K added to their card? Somehow, some way, she had that added to her card. How? How? This is a resurface video. This is not something current. This is just a resurface video. Somehow, some way, she accidentally had that added. Now I'm wondering if they're gonna go after her if they accidentally added that to her card. It was probably maybe supposed to be $120, maybe. Man. And this is going on too. I ain't gonna read it. Y'all can see it. But Mississippi people need to be careful. Mississippi people need to be careful. And there's a lot going on in Mississippi too. Go over to his page. He has a lot of interesting things to talk about. He's very interesting. He's very interesting. I'll let you read that again of what he feels. I'm not gonna say it, but he is a very interesting podcaster. Very interesting. See, I'll tell y'all stuff, but I'll send y'all to find out stuff too. See, this is trending. So people in Mississippi, be careful. Okay. All right, you guys. I've been live for 2 hours. 64 people in the building. Please hit subscribe. Even if all 64 subscribe, these likes need to be liking much, much more. Actually, if all, because I've been live 2 hours, if everybody would have hit like within those 2 hours, right now I'd be trending better and I'll be more into the algorithm. The video did well, probably got more than 5,000 views on it. But if everybody starts doing their part and hitting that like button, it helps. To hit the like button is free. We do have memberships over there. That's why, Paris is a member and I really focus on what she's saying because we interact. That's a part of her membership. There's videos that I might start, and I say that, but I hope she appreciates that, I communicate with her. That's a part of her membership. We communicate back and forth. She knows if I'm not seeing her comments, I'm over here looking up stuff or pulling up videos. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing the more memberships regarding that, and then hot topics, trending topics. Now, I used to do just celebrity stuff and hot topics, trending topics, but I had to start doing the government stuff and politics. I had to just to show y'all what's being said. My page is a little different. So I hope y'all appreciate the video. There's memberships over there. Super chats are welcome. We got to start getting the likes up though. But I've been live 2 hours. I'm exhausted. I hope y'all appreciate it. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. There's about 76 in the building. Please subscribe. We're trying to hit 70K by next month. I hope a lot of people have subscribed today because if the subscriptions are down and the likes are down, y'all got to do better. I do my part. Y'all got to do yours. Okay, everyone. Be blessed. Have a great day. Goodbye. Thanks for being here. I hope you have an amazing day. Be blessed. Be around people that love and appreciate you. Bye.